Guys having a nice time?
Yes.
Good, good. To be totally honest, I don't know if I should be doing stand-up. They say that in order to be a good artist, you have to have a tormented childhood. And I don't know if my childhood could be described as miserable. I mean, yes, my dad was an alcoholic, but he took me to Disneyland, so I don't know if that's really. Anywho, when I started doing stand-up a couple of years ago, a man came and said that I'd never make it. And I said, I'll prove you wrong, and I started working so hard just to rub it in his face. But then I said, nah, I don't have to do it to prove him wrong. I have to do it to prove it to myself. And then I found out that this guy was dead, so now I don't have to prove anything to nobody. I'm afraid, I just can relax and do whatever I want to. But to be honest, my part of this show is full of limitations. Do not expect a great entertainment experience. In fact, my only talent is to go. And mind you, I just did it. So it's an empty show from now on. Yeah. Now, in fact, I have one more talent, and I think you might like it. So relax and let your minds get blown. Do not fear. And I can do that with the whole box. Do not fear. Okay. That was it. It's great in my country too. So, you might have noticed that I dress a bit nerdy. I'm a bit weird at picking clothes. I'm a bit eccentric, and it's like if Salvation Army dropouts pick my clothes. Truly, I dress like a jerk, and it's a bad thing because people are quick to judge. People are, people will drag you for how you dress, for how you comb your hair, for a comment you may say. I remember once a woman, we were, and I told her how I lost my virginity, and she put the weirdest. She was so shocked, and I was thinking, oh man, this is the worst job interview ever. Anywho, I'm not from here. I'm from Argentina, really. I was expecting a round of applause, but no, forget it. Big popular track, never mind. But I'm not from here, but I've noticed things are the same here too, in most things. I mean, you have pets, you have cats as pets, and people everywhere in the world castrate cats. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but yeah, they castrate cats. And it's not a vasectomy.
Nope.
It's not. It's basically just ripping their balls off. Yeah? With the reasonable excuse that if you don't do that, they will scratch your sofa. And I came to think, well, the complexity of the human being, right? I mean, so sophisticated to take care of their sofa, so savage to just rip their balls off, right? Isn't anything in the middle, like, can't you talk to the cat, right? Say, no. That's it. Yeah, that's it. No, you rip the balls. Okay. And besides, if you're going to accept an animal in your life, please accept it with balls. Right? I mean, it's so simple to say, oh, I love him madly, but not his balls. Right? Accept the whole package and that's it. Besides, people then they castrate cats. Oh, never mind. But then they treat them like better than human beings, than other persons, right? I mean, they bought that brand for them, Whiskas. You had it here, right? Whiskas. And you know that famous slogan, 8 out of 10 cats would prefer Whiskas. Yeah. I know, you got that. Is the same slogan? Yeah. Well, in that kind of judging, 10 out of 10 cats would rather not have their balls ripped off. That's it. Oh, fake modesty. Okay. No. Well, things are are alike in most places of the world. Okay, great. Are alike in more places. For example, people who write things in the walls of the bathrooms, you know, public bathrooms. And I'm not picky or anything, but when did the bathroom became like a newspaper, no, or a media, or a way to express yourself? I mean, why are people writing on walls? Why are people reading books in the bathroom? I mean, let's face it. Stop building schools. Let's build more bathrooms. It will be all better and well. I think maybe people write on bathrooms because we are so unsure of ourselves that we need to think that our thoughts need to be heard. And I'm not even sure about that. I read that in a bathroom, so you will figure it out really. Okay, one more. Can I do one more? Considering it's my last gig in London. Okay. Oh no. Well, sorry. Just one message. I think to be tolerant, to be open to each kind of experience you might happen to you in life. I don't like to put myself as an example, but a couple of weeks ago, back in Argentina, I went for a walk and in a corner I met a Hare Krishna, right? You know, those guys in Bow and George Harrison, eh? and I met him and he went, excuse me, are you against animal torture? And I said yes. And he said, do you like reading? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, I have a book for you. And I said, what book? And he said, well, it's called Material Problems, Spiritual Solutions. And I said, and who's the author? And he said, oh, Your Holiness, Su Divina Gracia Hace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And I said, and what's the book about? And he said, well, it's 400 pages that can really change your life if you're willing to accept Krishna as your only true perfect master. And I said, interesting. And he said, yeah. And I said, And he said, And I said, And then he said, well, why don't we go for a cup of coffee? And I said, sure. And he said, where do you want to go? And I said, well, you pick the place. And he said, let's go anywhere that accepts credit cards. And I said, I didn't know Hare Krishnas could use credit cards. And he said, why shouldn't we use credit cards? And I went like, I don't know, I just didn't see you using credit cards. And he said, you know what, I think you are perpetrating a negative stereotype. And I said, no, you're a bit too sensitive. And he said, no, you're racist. Well, long story short, I had to kill him with my own hands. So, thanks a lot, you were fabulous.
His last name, Rullansky. And